What's up, guys? Good evening and welcome to Roma Theory. Christmas has arrived on the Roma Theory set. It smells so good in here. You can't see it, but I bought one of these misty things and it smells so Christmassy in here. I absolutely love it. It's wonderful. Do I even need to announce the game that we have coming towards us tomorrow? I don't think I need to introduce it, because I've been introducing it for this past week. Tomorrow is the biggest game we have played since the Budapest final in 2023. Tomorrow is ginormous. Tomorrow is massive. The opportunity that we have tomorrow is inexplicable. Like, you cannot explain it with words. It's massive. It's massive. If you win tomorrow, I'm going to get into the phrase, which is today's title, sliding doors. Tomorrow's game is a sliding doors game. It really is. I mean, I'm so excited. I'm so excited, but I'm so nervous because, honestly speaking, I'm not exaggerating. Tomorrow's game is, I think the last time we've played a massive game like yesterday's is, I think it's Budapest. I don't think it's an exaggeration. I think after Budapest, maybe the only game that can match in terms of importance is that semi-final first leg against Leverkusen with De Rossi. But, you know, tomorrow's massive. Tomorrow is absolutely massive. So if you're ready, hit that like button. I want so many likes on this video so we can delve deep into this match preview. I've got so many things to say about them, about us, predicted 11. Kone and Elanawi back on the squad list. So exciting things, exciting news. Milan Lazio tonight as well. So just destroy the like button and let's speak about this. Now, should we start with them or should we start with us? I say we start with us this time. I normally like to get the opponents out of the way, but I think speaking about them both intertwines well. So I'm going to start with us this time round. I'm not going to give predictions, so don't ask me for predictions, because I will not be saying results and predictions, because I just want to get tomorrow's game done with. I just want to sit in that stadium, soak it all in, and whatever happens, happens, even though I'm going to point this very clearly. A draw tomorrow is a defeat. I don't want anybody signing on a piece of paper for a draw. I don't want to read no comments of people going, a draw is golden, a draw would be fine. No, absolutely not. Tomorrow you need to win. Anything other than a win tomorrow, for me, is a defeat. Because Napoli is a very good team. At the beginning of the season, I put them as favourites. But Napoli have too many injuries for us not to be favourites tomorrow. And number two, they've reacted well post-international break. But this season's Napoli is a Napoli with an Antonio Conte who at times feels like he's about to shatter. Feels like he's about to erupt. And we all know if Conte erupts officially, it's very hard to get him, it's very hard to then connect him back with the team. Very similar to Mourinho. So I'm going to speak about Conte in a second and everything. Tomorrow, we need to change mentality. And, people speak about Scudetto. You do not win the Scudetto if you don't win tomorrow. If we want to keep the Scudetto talks open, you need to win tomorrow. No other discussion. No other discussion. You want to act big? You want to be big? You beat them tomorrow. So we've evolved. I think what Ranieri's maturing process taught us, and all of those unbeaten streaks that we did with Ranieri and that we're continuing on with Gasperini, I think we've evolved as a team. And in these games, we need to evolve our mentality. We cannot sign for draws. It depends on what the objective is. When it comes to top four, okay, a draw wouldn't be that bad. But if we want to keep those dreams going, this needs to be a win. And this has to be a win. Because I disagree with everyone who says that Napoli is unbeatable. No. If you say Napoli is unbeatable, you haven't watched Napoli lately. If you say Napoli is unbeatable, you haven't watched the Serie A lately. Napoli are a very beatable side. Adding on to this, they're missing Lukaku, they're missing De Bruyne, they're missing Gilmour, they're probably gonna miss Spinazzola, they're missing Anguissa. Five of their key players aren't starting tomorrow. They've got other big players. I look at Højlund, McTominay as the main ones. Neres and Noah Lang were picking up some form. But this is a team that is decimated when it comes to injuries. This is a team that has got so many injuries this season that every time that a game comes by, Conte needs to kind of create a new lineup. Because every game that goes by, he gets some injuries. So on that side, he's very unlucky. But I think the thing with Napoli is that we all know Conte very well. Conte is a big game manager, which is why tomorrow's game isn't easy. I'm not saying tomorrow's game, and this is where people will confuse me. I'm not saying tomorrow's game is easy, guaranteed win. Yeah, Napoli have got so many injuries, we have to win. No, I'm saying is that we need to win, which is different from we will win and that we're favorites. I mean, I think we're favorites, but it's different to say Roma have to win and Roma will win. There's a very big difference when saying that. And tomorrow is a game that we might not win, but going into the game, we need to win. We have to win. There is no other solution. We need to win. I think Conte is somebody who, similar to Mourinho, stereotypical managers, plays a lot on the mindset of players. And I think to win last season's Scudetto, he pressed these players a lot. You know, Conte is somebody who's obsessed with winning. And these managers who are obsessed with winning, one of the reasons why they win so much is because they just press their players so much. And I think at times this season, we have seen some consequences of the manager pressing intensively to achieve. You know, he knows that in order to win, you need to mentally destroy these players. You need to make these players hate you. And I think at times with this season, we have seen the consequences of last season's success. A team which is having interior revolutions against a manager which at the end of the season will leave, absolutely, against a manager which has entered in their minds so much that they're having rejection crises in periods. And I think, you know, a team that wins the Scudetto last season, you look at their away record this season and just, you know, that's another reason why we need to win. Napoli away from home this season have been disastrous. Disastrous. Because apart from the first two away games against Sassuolo and Fiorentina, they lost in Milan, they lost in Torino, they lost in Bologna. In the Champions League, they lost in that they got destroyed in the Netherlands against PSV Eindhoven. And even with Lecce, they did win. But I remember watching that game. Camarda missed the penalty and Napoli didn't deserve. So this is a team which is very vulnerable away from home. Had this game been played at the Maradona Stadium, they were favourites. And I would have signed for a draw, absolutely. But it's not at the Maradona. It's at the Stadio Olimpico. And we cannot accept a draw. You need to go in tomorrow and win the game. How you win that game? I don't give a shit. You can win 3-0. You can win 1-0. You can win 4-3. You can lose 2-0 and then win 3-2. I don't care. I just want the 3 points. Because 3 points tomorrow, and this is where I come to us, 3 points tomorrow, sliding doors. If you win tomorrow, beat Conte, slap Conte, send him back to Naples, there's one outcome. The outcome is not that you become the favourites to win the league. The outcome is that you show your ticket that you're there and you want to win the league. So I think tomorrow's game, if you win tomorrow's game, I will officially say that we're in a title race. So this is why tomorrow's game is massive. And this is why the title of this video is called Sliding Doors. Because tomorrow's game is a test for us. If you win tomorrow, you're showing the league with what you did with Ranieri, that unbeaten streak with Ranieri, dragged it onto Gasperini, and then bring it tomorrow when you beat Napoli as well. You win tomorrow, you present your ticket, and you're officially in a title race. You don't win tomorrow, you're not in a title race. Because something needs to click. Because we're playing better. Because we're playing better and better and better. Because at the start of the season, we were winning games because we were lucky, because we were scraping wins. Now we've made a step. Now we have converted those wins into games that we're dominating. Because now the little teams that at the start of the season we were maybe struggling against, you're destroying. You need that step now. And that step is the big game step. That step is a step which shows everyone that now you're also winning big games. Because if you don't win tomorrow, then everyone will start going, oh, Roma, they were never in a title race. They can't win a big game. So and again, this I bring you back at the start of the season. We're not a title. We're not built to win the league this season. Oopsie daisy. But we're in a position where the more we believe in it, the more it can happen. That's the way I see it. The more you tell everyone, I really want this, whether you're favorites or not doesn't really count anymore. Because game week after game week after game week after game week, if you slowly, if you tell everyone doesn't look at you as a league title team. Nobody does. Nobody, I think none of the 19 teams in the league would say that Roma's going to win the league. If you ask all the fans of the 19 teams apart from us, I mean including us probably, nobody will say that we're going to win the league. And let it be that way. But the more confidence we pick up, the more chances increase, and the more we're going to start believing in it. And tomorrow, you simply need to win. You simply need to win if you want to keep those dreams alive. Then, of course, in the top four scenario, top 5 of Italy get an extra spot. A draw against Napoli is always a draw against Napoli. But we need to make that step. We're ready to make that step, but we need to prove it. So I think tomorrow's game can be a sliding doors game for our season. I think at the end of tomorrow's game, I think we will understand if we can pull up a fight to win the league. Then again, we need to still play in Turin against Juventus. We still need to play against Milan. There are a lot of games. But what I'm saying here is that if you also beat Napoli after the wins that you've picked up this season, I think everyone will start looking at you as somebody that can win that is challenging for the Scudetto. So, I mean, it's massive. I don't know what else to say because it's just so big that we can't not. Again, I always say this before big games, but I don't want to have regrets. I don't want to have regrets tomorrow. So I want a team that is ready to kill Napoli on every point of view. Rivalry aside, we absolutely hate them and everything. But, the rivalry needs to get used to exacerbate that feeling, asphyxiate them, high press. What we've seen from that Inter game to now, we need to implement in tomorrow's game. And the reason I think we're not going to play for a draw tomorrow is because we're not going to play for a draw. It doesn't take a genius to say this. But I take back Gasperini's post-Midtjylland press interview, and he said, against Napoli, we need more. And that's the truth. This is a manager who, both Conte and Gasperini, didn't take a press conference before this game, which just puts to practice how big of a focus this game has in the minds of everyone. because this game can change your season. Then again, will we win the league if we win this game? No, probably not. But our reality will change. Maybe from a dream, which will always remain a dream, but maybe that dream can have elements of realism in it. And that's the way I see it. So, looking at that Napoli team, McTominay, of course, is one of the best players in the league. He's very fit and he's very on form. I just feel like Conte always knows how to prepare games. It's in these big encounters which have a lot of tension around them. Conte always knows how to prepare them. So you need to up your scale. Gasperini knows how to beat Conte. Conte knows how to beat Gasperini, but Gasperini knows how to beat Conte as well. Last season, remember, Atalanta beat Napoli 3-0 away. So I think I'm not gonna say my prediction. I have a prediction in me, but I will not release it because the last time I released it, it was against Milan and it didn't go correctly. I have an idea of how the game will develop and what will happen in the game and how the game will end, but I will not say it and I will not release it because maybe this time it can bring a bit more luck. Okay, predicted 11. It's probably going to shock a few people because a lot of people go where Dybala is. I haven't put Dybala. That doesn't mean Dybala won't start just because I said it. I haven't put Dybala for two reasons. Number one, starting Dybala, in my vision, implies not starting Sule. Because I've said it already, Sule and Dybala together, I don't like, and I think it's less efficient. And I think adding a point of reference like Ferguson, you can make Napoli's defense struggle more, because Napoli's defense is a vulnerable defense. It's not Inter's, which is also pretty vulnerable, but, you know, it's not playing against Allegri in Milan where it felt like we could have never scored against that defense, even though I think Milan's defense is also pretty vulnerable. Napoli's defense concedes. Napoli's defense is a defense which has injured players. Meret is also injured, I forgot. I mean, they do have Milinkovic-Savic, who is probably even better, but it's a vulnerable defense. It concedes. So I think adding a point of reference can put difficulties on them. The other reason is because the last thing you want to do is repeat the mistake that you made against Milan with Dybala, which led to Dybala being out for almost a month. The reason Dybala got injured in that Milan game taking the penalty is because clearly before that Milan game, which I remember he played terrible in, he overplayed. Dybala cannot play every game. I don't know in what language else to say this. Dybala can no longer play every game. Because if you play Dybala every game, the probabilities that he gets injured are way higher. So, the fact that out of nowhere we saw Dybala in the starting lineup against Midtjylland, and I think he overplayed, because I think having 0 minutes in his legs, he played almost the full game. Starting Dybala in this one as well means that you're playing a risk which, okay, yes, Dybala is the best player on our team, but it's not like this season he's been far better than Sule. Just start Sule and use Dybala as a last 30-minute tool in this one. So I personally think Dybala shouldn't start. Dybala might start. He can start as a false nine. Gasperini really likes it. You know, the idea of not starting Dybala and Sule together is just my idea. I'm not the manager. Gasperini chooses whatever he wants and whatever he thinks in season training sessions. But in my predicted 11, I wouldn't put Dybala and Sule together. But going chronologically, Svelor, Mancini, Indica, Hermoso, Celik, Cristante, Wesley, Kone, Pellegrini, Sule, Evan. My doubts are Hermoso and Kone. But both of them are on the squad list, so both of them have been recuperated. After the Midtjylland game, Kone got intercepted by some journalists and he said that he was fine. He was seen walking pretty fine. And the medical outcomes said that it was nothing serious. I just feel like in such a big game, even Kone, knowing that it's nothing serious, will try to be on the pitch. So I've put him on. Maybe he won't have 90 minutes, but also El Enawi got injured. He is on the squad list, but he did get a minor injury against Midtjylland as well, which apparently I didn't even notice, but it was the case. Also, Hermoso wasn't fit, but he is back on the squad list. And I think Gasperini really trusts Hermoso, so I think, because otherwise Celik will drop in a back three, Wesley will start, and either Rensch starts or Tsimikas starts, but Rensch never starts, so I'm like, I think it's going to be similar to this. I'm not going to officially confirm it, but it's going to be something around this. I'm not sure if Ferguson will start or get subbed in, with Dybala starting or getting subbed in. I think my biggest doubt is there, whether Ferguson or Dybala will start. But I would start with Ferguson. So look, I think, guys, tomorrow's game will say a lot. Tomorrow's game will speak a different language to us. It will either bring us back, feet on the ground, and wake us from our beloved sleep, or it will prolong the dream, and that dream will slowly and slowly and slowly potentially turn into reality. Not in a reality, but it will grab more aspects of something real. Okay, it's like, you know when you wake up at like 2 a.m. during the night, and you've got an alarm set for 7 a.m. So you wake up in the middle of the night thinking the alarm is about to go off, and then you click on your phone and it's 2 a.m. and you're like, oh yes, I'm going to go back to sleep, and you can prolong your dream. Tomorrow's game is this. Tomorrow's game will tell us what time we're going to wake up from our sleep, whether it's at 7:50 because an alarm rings and our dream stops, or on the other hand, if it's the scenario of waking up early thinking it's time for you to wake up, but it's not. And that's the best feeling ever. So yeah, it's like, again, I don't think we'll win the league. I don't. I've set my criteria out for me to believe in the league. It needs to continue on like this at least until March. Then I can say I believe in the league. As of now, it's a dream. But I ain't gonna lie, if you beat Napoli as well, in my opinion, it's not to yourself. It's a mix of both. If you beat Napoli, you tell everyone that you want to be a candidate and that everyone should treat you well. And it's also for you, that it will add tools in you to believe in it. So tomorrow's game on a mental point of view is massive. On a rival point of view, it's even more important because there's a massive rivalry between Roma and Napoli. It's a heated game. If you add everything that tomorrow's game can offer in a mix and mix it up, then it can produce something special. Because I've said it in the middle of the week, I can't remember what video it was. If you win tomorrow, the city will flip. If you win tomorrow, the city will go on tilt. If you win tomorrow, the fans will start believing the league title. So, as the title of this video perfectly describes this, and for me to perfectly end it, tomorrow is a sliding doors. Tomorrow is, it's just magical. If you win tomorrow, it would be magical. It simply would. I'm trying to think of a good analogy a good Simo analogy to try and sum up the game and the importance of the sliding doors concept. I think, look, just to conclude, you know when you're at the airport and it's July or August and you're about to go on holiday, a holiday you've been waiting for the entire year, whether it's with your friends or with your family or with whoever, to a place that you've always wanted to visit. And you know how kids, whenever they walk in an airport, they like slide on their trolley, on their suitcase. They like slide on it and go, yeah! Tomorrow's like that. Tomorrow is that. Us, if we win, sliding into your dream holiday, the Maldives. So I'm so excited, but it's not easy. I mean, I can see us winning, but I can also see us losing because Conte knows how to prepare these games. But I trust my team, I trust my players, I trust my manager, I trust us, who will be there tomorrow, to produce Satan's hell and let Napoli fall in our trap. Okay, I'm going to read a few comments and then I will end it. We always treat teams like this as if they are Real Madrid. We need to acknowledge that they are very beatable. Yeah, I mean, I agree, but it's not like if you lose. My point is, you can lose against Napoli. It's not like losing against Victoria Putin at home. Napoli won the league last season. But the chance is so big, and the dynamics of the chance are so big, that, yeah, I think a draw would be wasted, would be a very wasted chance. We will lose because that red card got Gasperini. What's that got to do with the game, mate? Gasperini doesn't need to play. Every time we get a chance like this, we don't take it. Why would tomorrow be any different? Not trying to get my hopes up. Draw would be great. Disagree. Draw cannot be great. Draw cannot be great. No. Let's rephrase that. A draw would be great, but then stop the Scudetto talks. And I'm the first one to say we need to keep our heads down because we're not going to win the league this season. In that case, yes, I agree. But everyone is all of a sudden speaking about the Scudetto. You can't connect the two dots. If you speak about Scudetto and believe that this team can win the Scudetto, then never in a million years will you or can you accept a draw tomorrow. You can't. So if you want to speak about Scudetto, fine. But you got to win tomorrow. You can't draw. A draw isn't good. Had you won that Inter game or that Milan game, then okay, yeah. But you've lost both. And you lost both probably deserving more. So it's time you hit them. It's time you hit them, or in more crude terms, it's time you finger Conte and beat Napoli. We have no reason to lose. We have our entire squad available tomorrow. Tomorrow's game will tell if the Scudetto is achievable. I think starting Ferguson tomorrow would be ideal. Mancini mind games could break Højlund, who was already on a bad form and missed the penalty in the Champions League. If we worry about Højlund, we're suckers. Siamo primi per distacco in hypercar, che sarà il futuro e va bene così. A la Formula 1 cambiarono le regole nel 2008. Non seguo la Formula 1, però penso di aver capito cosa intendi. What do you think about playing the false nine? Depends, but I don't think it's the game tomorrow to play with the false nine. If we win tomorrow, I do think that we are officially in the title race. Even though it's early, I agree. Even if it's early, I agree. Please not another rash analogy. Dybala got to play. This is the biggest game so far. Can't leave your best players on the bench. Dybala is the only one who can unlock Napoli's defense too. I get your point. Dybala is the best player in the league. But if I need to pick the 29th of November, Dybala or Sule to start, as of today, I would pick Sule. And throughout the entirety of this season, in general, if I gone in my head, Dybala or Sule to start, based off this season, I'd go Sule. You know, Dybala is the best player in the league, I agree. But I think picking Dybala or Sule and not picking Sule is biased just because Dybala is Dybala. But Sule has been far better than Dybala this season. Then again, they can play together, but I'm not a fan of it. So I'm not going to put both of them together in my predict 11. Okay, boom. Guys, no press conference, silent, pre-game, focus, big night tonight. I cannot wait. Tomorrow's going to be massive. Forza Roma sempre. Cannot be scared. Cannot be scared. Cannot be scared. Go in and kill them. Go in and kill those rats. Because these are rats as well. Anyways, I'll speak to you tomorrow. Hopefully with an insane match vlog. Christmas period officially on Roma Theory. And bring it on. Simo out.